Aqua Earth Explorer.
Scuba diving lets us explore a world few humans ever see. But some places beneath the waves are more dangerous than beautiful. From caves that disorient even the best divers, to wrecks filled with deadly entanglements, to sinkholes so deep they defy human limits. These are the top 10 most dangerous dive spots in the world. For some, they're the ultimate thrill. For others, they've been the last dive they ever attempt. Number 10. Devil's Caves, Florida, USA. In Williston, Florida, Devil's Den and the nearby Devil's Caves look like peaceful natural springs. Sunlight filters through the water, giving the impression of safety. But beneath the surface is a dangerous labyrinth of twisting caverns, narrow passages, and silt-filled tunnels. The danger here is disorientation. One careless fin kick can cloud visibility to zero. Divers panic, lose their way, and run out of air before finding the exit. Even trained cave divers have become trapped in its maze. Despite multiple warning signs at the entrance, complete with Grim Reaper illustrations, the caves continue to attract unprepared divers. Many underestimate how quickly the situation can turn fatal. Yet, for those with the right training, Devil's Caves are a legendary challenge in the cave diving community. Number 9. German U-boat wrecks, North Atlantic. The icy waters of the North Atlantic are home to dozens of German U-boat wrecks from World War II. These vessels lie anywhere from 30 meters to well over 100 meters deep, often in near-freezing conditions. The wrecks themselves are both fascinating and treacherous. Inside, collapsing bulkheads and jagged metal can cut through wetsuits and hoses. Silt lies everywhere. Disturb it, and you'll lose your way in seconds. The deeper wrecks also require technical diving skills, with divers using mixed gases to avoid nitrogen narcosis. Decompression times can stretch into hours. Despite the risks, U-boat wrecks lure divers with their haunting history. Exploring the command rooms, torpedo tubes, and living quarters is like stepping back into the Second World War. But many of these wrecks have already claimed lives from entrapment, equipment failure, and the merciless cold of the Atlantic. Number 8. Samisan Hole, Thailand. Off the coast of Thailand lies the Samisan Hole, a former military dumping ground now notorious as one of the most dangerous dives in Asia. At more than 85 meters deep, it pushes divers into extreme depth zones where oxygen toxicity and nitrogen narcosis become serious threats. What makes it even more hazardous is what lies on the seabed: unexploded bombs, artillery shells, and ammunition left behind from military use. Stirring the sediment or accidentally contacting ordnance here is no small risk. Currents in the Gulf of Thailand add to the danger, sometimes sweeping divers off course or forcing them to abandon descents. Visibility is often poor, amplifying the sense of claustrophobia and uncertainty. Still, the Samisan Hole draws advanced divers with its reputation and the thrill of danger. For many, it's a test of skill and nerves, but it's one where even small mistakes can be unforgiving. Number 7. Lake Titicaca, Peru, Bolivia. At 12,500 feet above sea level, Lake Titicaca is the highest navigable lake in the world, and one of the most challenging dive environments anywhere. The high altitude means divers absorb gases differently, making decompression far more dangerous. A dive profile safe at sea level can be deadly here. The water itself is near freezing, even with a dry suit. Hypothermia is a constant risk, and the lack of infrastructure around the lake means help is far away if something goes wrong. The thin air above water also makes surface intervals difficult, as divers can suffer altitude sickness on top of decompression strain. Yet Lake Titicaca isn't just extreme, it's historically fascinating. Archaeological expeditions have uncovered submerged Incan temples and artifacts on its floor, remnants of ancient civilizations. That history keeps pulling researchers and adventure divers back, despite the dangers of combining high altitude, low temperatures, and unpredictable conditions. Number 6. Eagle's Nest Sinkhole, Florida, USA. To the casual eye, Eagle's Nest looks like a swampy pond in the middle of the woods. But below the surface lies a sinkhole so vast it's been compared to the Mount Everest of cave diving. The entrance shaft drops 90 meters straight down, opening into enormous chambers with cathedral-like ceilings. The danger? The sheer scale. Divers often underestimate how much gas they'll consume exploring its passages. Navigation is complicated, with branching tunnels leading into pitch-black spaces. Losing your way here can be fatal. Despite warning signs, including one with a Grim Reaper urging divers to stay out without proper training, fatalities continue. Some call it Florida's most dangerous dive site. But for highly trained cave divers, Eagle's Nest remains the ultimate challenge, a place where skill, discipline, and respect for the cave are the only things keeping you alive. Number 5. Cenote Escalito, Temple of Doom, Mexico. In the Yucatan Peninsula, cenotes are natural sinkholes that lead into vast underground cave systems. Cenote Escalito, nicknamed the Temple of Doom, is one of the most infamous. At the surface, it looks like a beautiful open pool. But descend, and you find yourself in a maze of tight tunnels filled with stalactites and stalagmites. Any careless movement kicks up silt, dropping visibility to zero. With no clear markers, it's all too easy to get lost. Many divers have perished here, trapped in passages they couldn't find their way out of. Even experienced cave divers report the site is unforgiving, with sudden dead ends and low ceilings. Yet its haunting beauty, massive limestone formations, shafts of sunlight piercing the water, make it irresistible. For divers who succeed, the Temple of Doom is as awe-inspiring as it is deadly. Number 4. Samisan Shipwreck, Thailand. Near Samisan Hole lies another danger, the Samisan Shipwreck. This sunken freighter is notorious for its unstable structure, strong currents, and hazardous location near busy shipping lanes. Divers risk becoming entangled in fishing nets draped across the wreck. Sections of the ship are collapsing, creating pinch points where divers can get trapped. The wreck also carried military supplies, and some reports suggest unexploded munitions may still be present inside. Poor visibility adds to the risk. Losing your buddy here could mean never finding them again. Yet, for wreck divers, the ship is a magnet. Its rusted hull, cargo holds, and marine life covering its surfaces make it both eerie and captivating. Still, it's a site where the line between exploration and disaster is razor thin. Number 3. The Blue Hole, Dahab, Egypt. Off the coast of Dahab lies perhaps the most infamous dive site in the world, the Blue Hole. From the surface, it looks like a calm, circular lagoon, but beneath, it drops more than 100 meters into darkness. The real lure and the real danger is the Arch, a tunnel leading from the Blue Hole out to open water at around 55 meters deep. Divers are drawn to its beauty, but reaching it means descending past safe recreational limits. At that depth, nitrogen narcosis impairs judgment, and air supplies vanish faster than many anticipate. Dozens of divers have lost their lives here, giving the Blue Hole the nickname Divers' Cemetery. Memorial plaques line the rocks nearby, yet its reputation only makes it more attractive to thrill seekers. For those prepared and properly trained, it's unforgettable, but the margin for error is terrifyingly small. Number 2. The Shaft Sinkhole, Mount Gambier, Australia. Hidden on private farmland near Mount Gambier, South Australia, the shaft is deceptively simple, a small hole in the ground just wide enough for a person to descend. But beneath lies one of the most complex underwater cave systems in the world. Divers must first descend a narrow vertical shaft before emerging into massive chambers filled with crystal-clear but bone-chilling water. The clarity is so perfect that it distorts depth perception, making chambers seem closer or farther than they are. The risks are immense. Divers have died simply trying to navigate the entrance shaft. Deep penetration into the caves requires meticulous planning and guideline use. A broken line, a silt-out, or equipment malfunction in these confined spaces is often fatal. Still, the shaft remains legendary for technical cave divers. Its alien beauty, blue water, vast chambers, and limestone formations makes it one of the most alluring yet deadly dives on Earth. Number 1. Boesmanskat Bushman's Hole, South Africa. Topping our list is Boesmanskat, or Bushman's Hole, in South Africa. This freshwater sinkhole plunges nearly 280 meters, almost 1,000 feet, making it one of the deepest known underwater caves. At these depths, everything is extreme. Divers must use trimix gases to avoid nitrogen narcosis and oxygen toxicity. Decompression stops can last hours, with divers floating in cold, dark water, waiting for their bodies to adjust. Equipment failure here is almost always fatal. The site is famous for both triumph and tragedy. In 1996, South African diver Nuno Gomes set a world record by reaching the bottom, a dive that required 12 hours of decompression. But others, including experienced cave divers, have died attempting similar descents. The remains of some divers weren't recovered for years. Bushman's Hole represents the ultimate in extreme diving, a place where human limits are tested against the unforgiving depths. For those who dare, it's legendary, but for many, it's deadly. These are the dives where beauty and danger go hand in hand. They remind us that the ocean and the hidden caves and sinkholes beneath the earth are not forgiving environments. Training, respect, and preparation are everything. Would you dare attempt one of these extreme dives, or do they sound like certain death? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more deep-sea stories, subscribe and join us as we explore the most incredible, mysterious, and sometimes dangerous places beneath the waves.
Thanks for diving in with me today. If you enjoyed this adventure, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next one.